Hi, welcome to my channel. In this video, I thought I would do a little bit of a June wrap-up, but this is a very realistic June wrap-up because I A, have a real full-time job, B, I got so sick that I was out for a couple of days, and then C, I went through some of the busiest periods that I will ever go through in my job, or at least that we cycle through on a yearly basis. So to say that this wrap-up or monthly reads is on the lighter side is a little bit of an understatement. A majority of these books I read at the beginning of June because the later half of June was just not that successful. Okay, so the first book that I read, I actually don't know because I read it on my Kindle, and it is That One Night. So this book is a prequel to the Jacksonville Ray series, and I wanted to read the book or the series Pucking Around, so I thought this would be kind of a good place to start. And it was a really short book. I read it really quickly. I gave it a 3 stars. The story is about a girl named Rachel, and she is going to be essentially the doctor of a hockey team, and then she ends up meeting this guy, and it's essentially their story. I'm not sure if it's a love story. I mean, I'm assuming it's a love story. I haven't fully read the book. It is a very spicy book. Like, literally all it is spice. It's hard to give too much in a prequel when the book already does all of its introduction. So just a quick little read. I'm not going to count this in my June monthly reads because I didn't finish the book, but I then proceeded to start reading the book Pucking Around because I thought the novella was just kind of like this one snapshot of a moment. So it didn't surprise me that so much of it was spice, but then once I actually started reading the book, I realized what I was getting myself into. My intention was to just read another hockey romance, and I had heard a lot about this series, so I decided why not give it a chance. You know, I love a good Elle Kennedy book, and I wanted to get into another sports romance. There's a lot going on in that book. I ended up DNFing it. I only have the prequel to it on my actually monthly wrap up, and I actually read a good amount of the book. I think I was almost 200 pages into the book where I was just like, I cannot read this anymore. The novella wasn't bad for what it is. I cannot even recommend reading the novella or the series at all. Next, I also don't have this book because I also read it on my Kindle, but I started reading The Bodyguard. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and the spice level is literally at a 0.5 if that's even a possibility. There's absolutely no spice, but this is such a cute little like romance book that I decided to pick up. I felt myself kind of going into a slump because there was a couple of books that I read back to back that I didn't really enjoy, and then I started reading the novella, and then I started reading Pucking Around, and I ended up DNFing that. And so it was just kind of hard to entice me into a book. And so this book did a really good job of kind of bringing me back, getting me out of my slump. Our main characters are Jack and Hannah. Jack is an actor and Hannah is a bodyguard. And in this book, Jack is filming some movies, and his agency has decided that they're gonna book a bodyguard team to protect him while he's in Texas because he's in there for family reasons. And Hannah is actually the bodyguard assigned to him. So they end up fake dating so that she can be near him and with him at all times, but his family not suspect anything on the safety side. And it's actually really cute. The book is really easy to read, and the premise is very interesting. I don't know if I should mention this or not, but there is no third act breakup. I know some people have strong feelings about that. I don't want to give any spoilers, and I hope that's not a spoiler, something that doesn't happen. But there's no third act breakup, which I was very scared we were gonna go down that route with that book. I gave it a 4 star. I thought it was a great summer read, and I thought the pace of the book was really good. So now for a book that I actually have. I read Beach Read by Emily Henry. I have had this in my bookshelf for the longest time. It's been years now, and I've never ever read it. There has been such a train of Emily Henry on Book Talk, so I thought I would start with the book that I already own from her instead of going to buy another book like Happy Place. I actually did a full video of reading Emily Henry for the first time for this one, so I don't want to spoil too much about it, but overall I gave it a 4 stars. The spice on this one is also like pretty much non-existent. Our 2 main characters are Augustus and January, and they are both writers, and they have writer's block. Both of these characters knew each other from college, and so they're kind of going through this journey of trying to get back into writing, but also getting to know each other, kind of challenging each other as writers because they both write different genres, but also they're trying to navigate their own personal experiences and healing their own journeys as individuals, not just as a couple. With this book, I will say, do not be fooled The cute little cover, the summer colors, beach read. I bought this book because I was going to the beach and I stopped by the book section at Target and I thought, what better book to take to the beach than beach read? That is literally the reason why I bought this book. And let me tell you, I enjoyed the book, but this is not a light read. This is not a cute little light romance book to read in the summer. It wasn't a heavy book, but it definitely had some weight to it. So just be forewarned. It's a great book. Emily Henry does a really good job of writing it and the style, and it's really good pace. So I definitely recommend it, but just be forewarned. It's very cute, but it definitely has a little bit of bite. And then the last book that I'm gonna be talking about is To Sir Philip with Love, which is part of the Bridgerton series. I know it's the summer of Bridgerton with season 3 coming out, but I have read all the books up to Eloise's book, so I just wanted to continue the series. I have finally got around to it. I'm going to rate this book 3 out of 5 stars. If you know anything about the Bridgerton books or the Bridgerton series, you know that there is a lot of spice in all of them, everywhere, in all different ways, and this book is no different. There is a good amount of spice in this one, but overall, Bridgerton does a really good job of world building. I don't want to give away who the other character in her love story is, just because, you know, Bridgerton, the show, is ongoing and there's a lot of things from this book that would give away into the series. So I'm just gonna say that it's Eloise's story. And something very interesting about this book is that it is not set in London, in the city, like all the other books. It's actually at an age where she's considered a spinster and she has rejected a couple of proposals by now. So it's kind of the story of her stumbling into love, I guess. The difference between this book and some of the other Bridgerton books is that the other ones are, I think, are a little bit more of a love story, and then these are a little bit more of development of the characters, you know, their personal growth as people, which is really nice. And I think this is one of the more realistic books I think I've read from, you know, the love series. So at least in regards to people and how human they are and their traits, I thought this was a great read and definitely going to continue the series. Also, this book is part of another video that I'm doing where I let my dogs decide what books I was reading, and they ended up choosing this one. I'm not sure when that book is gonna come out because I still have to read all the other books that were part of that video, and this was the first one of that video, so probably link it down below whenever I upload it. Thank you so much for watching this video. That was my June wrap up. I definitely did not read as many books as I wanted to, but you know, that's life. I have a full-time job. I'm also trying to do other things. Sometimes you have a really good month and then other times you're barely reading anything. If you enjoyed, please give a thumbs up or subscribe and come back if you want to see more book videos.